Welcome everyone to our VWEC Metaverse Expert Series. We're glad to see you and have you join us for today's very interesting presentation and discussion. For those who are new, our website is vwecconsortium.org, which I'm gonna paste it on the chat as well. And you can find VWEC on many social media channels as well. And there is a website for that as well. I'm putting on the chat window. After our presentation, we will move to the deck for a more informal conversation as well, and social time for those who are able to stay. We're pleased to offer our expert series presentations in both text and chat. Text for anyone who may not be using voice is shared on our YouTube live stream. You can find this in the sign in front of our stage as well. Speaking of signs, we would like to know how you find about our events. So our survey plan has just a quick survey that is great help to us. If you would please fill that out and feel free to send along any comments you have. We would like to thank you all for joining us for this very interesting presentation. Now, I'm happy to introduce our Metaverse Expert Series speaker to you. Today or this evening, if you are in the other time zones, Keeper Baxton has been an active Second Life user for over 16 years. He has garnered a growing fan base for his innovative ideas on sustainable lifestyles, family and community groups. With a BS in psychology and an MS in sociology, he has utilized these skills as an active life coach for thousands of people and their families. He's a professional advisor, educator, public speaker, narrator, author, and mentor who focuses on using innovative technology to build safe and wholesome communities for people to live in. He sees Second Life as a safe place for individuals worldwide to collectively use their avatars to collaborate, communicate, plan, design, construct, market, and update cheaply in the virtual world environment. These virtual cities become active laboratories to test living and work out problems in the community and replicate the best results in real life. So Keeper will present today building smart electric cities for tomorrow in SL. The first smart electric city is Emerald Smart City, a demo SEC for others to generate creative ideas. It is located on Emerald Island, a region of Etopia Island Estates, focused on helping sustainable communities grow. So, Keeper, the stage is yours. Please.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. My name's Keeper, and I have got some exciting news to share with you today about a new concept in Second Life. It's what I'm calling a simulation project, and there'll be many more to come, but I want to launch this first one, and today will be that first presentation. It will be on Emerald Electric City, and I'm excited to kind of invite you to become a part of this too. So as this goes along, feel free to kind of identify what you would like to get involved in and how you would like to do that involvement. So without further ado, let's get started on the slides. And maybe we will. Where did it go? I'm not sure about the second slide off to the right, but you can see the main slides. My proposal, and my keen interest has always been in building positive, productive communities for people and allow them to run them and to be able to operate them within the confines of their own community. And got I've been at Second Life for 16 years and been kind of looking around and trying to figure out my purpose and what I wanted to do. I retired a couple of years ago and didn't have much to do, so I started hanging out in Second Life a lot and started making some really nice friends and got excited about this whole environment called Second Life and started learning all kinds of things, visiting like crazy. And then I ran across a book about a year and a half ago by Mr. Ogg, and he advocated making a better metaverse that matters. And I read that book, and my eyes were kind of open to this whole concept of what does it take to run a virtual community, and how do you sustain it? And got to thinking, well, how can I help make that happen? And I got to looking around and realized that one of the world's greatest challenges today is trying to move from fossil fuels to electric and electric everything. And I realized suddenly that there is a synergy there. And I'm able to capitalize on that. And that is to bring my love of sustainability and green environments and healthy communities into Second Life and create a healthy environment in which to showcase all the greatest things the world has built and is offering today. And to do that, we need to put it into a city. So that's the concept here. Emerald Electric City will be one of the first electric metropolises under a protected dome. I'll explain that as I'm going along. So I'm calling all skilled Second Life builders and creators and those willing to join Second Life and help build this community. We're embarking on an exciting journey to construct Emerald City, a cutting-edge smart electric metropolis nestled beneath a futuristic dome. Your expertise can help shape the future of virtual urban living in this sustainable high-tech oasis. So what is Emerald City all about? Well, it's got several major themes running through it. As you know, a city is not a simple process anymore, especially the larger cities. There is quite a bit of infrastructure that needs to go on to sustain us and to help us to live comfortably and healthy, and to continue to on into our elder years, into our senior years. So, what to put in this Emerald City? Well, it would start with a smart infrastructure, advanced power grids, and AI control system managed energy flow systems. It would have flexible designs, kind of an imaginative driven designs, concepts and features, rich spaces, and orientation. It would be sustainable. Green spaces and eco-friendly architecture promote a harmonious virtual environment. And then community driven. Imagine driven experiential, experimental designs, concepts and features, rich with animations and rich with information as well. And then an innovative hub, a place for residents to experiment with cutting edge virtual technologies. Some of the features inside Emerald Electric City would be these: an introduction to the infrastructure, to the things that need to be built to sustain a community. This electric city is not just any virtual city, it's a vision of the future featuring smart electric solutions, solar, wind, hydro, tidal, storage grid, and I would even add hydrogen to that mix. Smart water, waste solutions, full reusable retention, manufacturing cycles, eco-friendly architecture, biophilic design, that means green design within the city itself, Advanced transportation systems, managed charging stations for EVs and e-bikes and e-taxis and e-trains, e-planes, e-ships, and e-freight. Converting all of that to an electrical type engines and electrical type power. Interactive public spaces, multi-use parks, theaters, civic centers, stadiums, under a controlled environmental space, domes, skyscrapers, towers, urban farms, ranches, businesses, and vendors. I always get this, I always have somebody ask the question, well, why am I pushing for domed cities or domed environments? And I want to stop here just a second and say, well, it's because I am a firm believer that global warming is a real thing, that it is transforming our entire world. And unfortunately, it's not positive. It's transforming it into a very negative environment in which to breathe and to eat healthy foods and indeed to even be comfortable in. And so we need a controlled environment. Eventually, the world is going to stop providing that. And we need a place where we can do it ourselves under a controlled environmental dome. And working out those problems are massive. And attempts have been made, and no one has been successful yet. Around the world, people are saying, yeah, we need something new. We need something different. We need something electrical that stops polluting the earth and our air and harming our food supplies. And so this is one attempt at doing that, putting this electrical city in the virtual realm allows us to quickly experiment, quickly change, modify, and we can build anything we can imagine in here and be able to start with animations, be able to operate it and let citizens, avatars like yourselves and many, many others, the common person in the world who come in and try it out, test it, and in that testing, give us evaluation and feedback instantly on what works and what doesn't work. And then we make those changes and we take them back as blueprints into the real world. And we build them. We build these environments. Effective public spaces, I've said, controlled environments, and then culturally, artistically relevant to the local communities. We want these spaces to be places that people enjoy and can find happiness in and contentment in and be able to relate to one another on a level that is friendly and positive and lack of hopefully a lack of crime. But that's probably not a doable goal, but why not seek it out? Why not attempt to go that direction? Less to fight about, less to struggle about, and less then will be crime and bad actors. So community and a community-based local leadership and policies that set agendas that make sense within that local community, being able to be self-regulating and self-governing would be extremely helpful here. So how do we get there? How do we get there? It's a big goal. There's a vision here, a new era of virtual urban planning. Well, we can do it. Phase one would be a foundation, building that foundation, establishing one infrastructure and look to the city layout and be able to control it. Virtually, we can change it immediately. Less likely it will happen in the real world that fast. So let's do it right the first time and then implement it when we find a solution. Phase two would be the innovation of the smart and sustainable technologies. Phase three would be a community, create engaging spaces for residents and visitors. And then phase four, evolution, continuously update and improve based on user feedback. So key features of Emerald City. would be a smart grid system, dynamic power distribution, optimizing energy usage across the city, electric vehicles, being able to operate them and to recharge them anywhere in that community. There'll be many, many opportunities for recharging. And then AI assisted city governance and city management of the facilities and infrastructures so that we have an ability now to control what we need to control. So who's going to build this? Well, we need building skills. And we need certain kinds of building skills. One of them would be, of course, 3D modeling here in Second Life, being able to create anything we can think of and imagine that would benefit that community and being able to do it quickly and build an infrastructure that doesn't just cut out the middleman, it opens it up to fast development and fast creativity. And of course, scripting go along with that to make things move and animate and be able to operate within the parameters that we want them to do it, or changing those parameters if they don't fit serving the human beings and plants and animals that live within that environment. And then texture design, we need people that are creative to be able to create nice textures that we can appreciate. I think colors do affect moods and they do affect people's activity and behaviors. And so creating environments in which they're helpful to our own well-being is a good thing. And then innovation, purpose and implement cutting edge ideas for an urban virtual living. Key features of Emerald City. We also want people skills. We're looking for to build a smart electric city. We need people, not just technology, but we need people. And so we have this. I have this slide up for you on three major areas. We need leaders, we need educators, and we need ambassadors. And I've listed a large list of things there within those three categories for transitioning to this, being able to have this and being able to build it. And so I'm calling upon yours and lots of other people's help, both here and those that aren't in here yet, that I want to invite into Second Life to make this happen. And so we're talking about designers and builders, project managers and teams, marketing and finances, scheduling and timelines, think tank people to generate new ideas of how we can be sustainable and healthy in this environment. And I'm here to add one more element to this that we haven't really talked about. As I got to moving along here, I became concerned about, here in America anyway, I became concerned about our over homeless population. It is too many people being homeless, too many people sitting on the homeless rosters. And it's hurting our economy, it's hurting our health, it's hurting our communities. We need to solve this homeless problem. I believe this is the answer for that in a national works program here in America anyway, possibly in other countries as well, where homeless can be given opportunity to rebuild themselves and repurpose themselves. And so back to the slide, I'm looking for a leader that can help us to do that and create a workforce out of our homeless population. Educators of all kinds, both university and college, professor, student, mentoring mentoring the avatars and the new people that come on board, both full-time and part-time. We teach smart city classes. We teach SL communications and building tools and scripting and urban planning, but we also invite the homeless to become educators and teachers and trainers, and help us to see what really sustains one's life, what really makes one happy. They have been struggling with this for a long time. We help them to solve it. They in turn teach us how to do it. Then cultural ambassadors. These are the ones who speak on behalf of the goodness of these domed communities and these healthy environments in which we're creating, from universities and campuses to artists and entertainers who come, cultural arts and designs, architecture, city planners, engineers, country, state, city, government. And then one that I added just recently is the homeless ambassadors, being able to put certain leaders, homeless that were homeless, now have been transitioned into a trained worker or job or career, now can also speak on behalf of this transition and be able to become representatives of smart electric cities themselves. So why join Emerald Electric City Project? Well, it will allow one creative freedom, it will be skill development, community impact, and there will be given recognition for that along the way as things are generated positively and continue to develop in a healthy sort of way. So what's the project timeline that I have visioned anyway? I hope this will work. Planning for months 1 to 3, being able to do construction months 4 to 8, testing months 9 to 11, and then have a grand opening right at the 12th month. So it'd be about a year that this can transition into, starting out with leadership, then planning from that leadership into training, and then from there into ambassadors to be able to market and to be able to offer it and to present it to the public and invite them to join us in this exciting new world called Emerald Electric City. So there'll be collaborative works. These projects offer some of the best that SL has to offer. We'll have weekly meetings. We'll have a resource library we create and share with others. We'll have a mentorship program, and we'll have a recognition system as well to help people to learn and to grow and to evolve into this new concept of community living under a dome. We invite you to join us, Shaping the Future, both to be creative, to be collaborative, and then to celebrate. So we invite you to join the movement. We've got all kinds of things that need to be done, and I would invite you to either contact me or at the end of this presentation, you will see a place for a survey. You can actually fill out interest cards of your interest in support and any level you want, and tell us about it. Tell me about it so that we can get you involved in one of the teams, one of the many teams. I'm identifying about 15 teams that need to be developed to make this happen in various forms. And then we invite you to express your interest. We also invite you to share your vision. If you've got a vision of this and you think you've got an idea that will work in doing this better, please fill that out on the form, on the survey, and give us that idea, share that idea, and we will dialogue about it and continue to build on it if it seems workable within a community. I've done this many, many times, so it works. And then we collaborate and create together. So we need support from you, but we also need financing from you as well. So we're looking at financing. I've got a slide here for that. So we invite you to be part of something revolutionary. We have not set a date for a kickoff yet. We will, probably in a few months, and be able to do that. I thank you, Ray. Rand, that donation is a big help. And so and we're looking for all kinds of places for us to get support. But one of the more important things is where are we going to go with this? Well, I mean, what are we going to do with it once we got it done? What do we do with it? Well, here are three ideas. And these are all solid ideas. I've worked on these for months. And one of them is to be able to invite 15 other countries to do the very same thing. And what I mean by that is the Emerald City, the Emerald Electric City, will be built virtually as an American culture. Since I'm American, I'm inviting others to do the same thing. That doesn't mean we don't need input from the world's environmentalists and world sustainability people. But what we do want to start somewhere. So we start in America with this a cultural city that's got an American flavor. But I'm inviting 15 other countries to do the very same thing on their own parcel and their own land and be able to build this so that we have, I just arbitrarily picked 15, works out well, and it kind of fits into the calendar mode that I've got an idea for, being able to showcase this as a marketing tool. So a World's Fair, probably in about 2 years, we can have a World's Fair in Second Life. And we'll have competitions among those 15, 16 countries, and we'll offer prizes to do that with, kind of like the student challenges that are here, but put on steroids because we're going to have full countries being represented, and we're going to offer the basic work structure, the people building it. We're going to invite from the communities themselves, and so it'll be very cultural relevant. The universities and its students, and also its architects and engineers and urban planners all come together and make this happen on 15 different smart cities and give them names. Don't know what the names are going to be yet, but we will see what people come up with. But we learn. And so we are building Emerald City as a showpiece for other countries to do the same thing with, and to be able to bring it all together into a World's Fair that we invite the world to, and it's billions of people. We also have farming markets that can be identified within the domes. I have a sample of that on my island, what ideas can go into a farming dome. In other words, controlled environment for plants and animals to be raised both for food and for being able to, for clothing and that kind of thing as well. So that's one other idea, is a farming market built under a dome, and being able to sustain that. And finally, the center column, rebuilding hope, solving homelessness in America. I mentioned that before, and it's very doable, and we would transition people out of homelessness into solving the problems of tomorrow, building the domes and building the infrastructures, and give them and supporting them to do that, give them jobs and pay them and be able to give them housing because they are doing something for us. And thirdly, or fourthly, would be the ships of plenty I've thought of. Being able to build huge solar farming ships that travel around the world, growing vegetables and fruits and meat products, and be able then to deliver them to the ports where that is needed, either those that have had facing natural disasters or war-ridden areas, drought-inflicted countries, can be fed through these ships of plenty. And then also, there is an ability with the solar to be able to desalinate the salt water into fresh drinking water quickly. And we can now supply drinking water and possibly farming water to the populations that are in dire need all around the world. So a humanitarian effort there. I've got a little ship for you to see there of what it might look like. So how to fund this? This is a critical piece, obviously. And so being able to fund both the virtual won't take much, but it will take some. And then more so, we will need to build for the future. We'll need to have funds to be able to build smart electric neighborhoods then into the local economy, into the local environments within our cities, transforming some of the neighborhoods that we already live in that need to be transformed badly and help to make them healthier, but also being able to build brand new ones as well. So how do we fund it? Well, some ideas. Corporate sponsorships align their brand with our sustainable innovative vision and gain visibility through sponsored exhibits, events, and digital campaigns. This will become more obvious as we promote and begin to build a World's Fair in which that that can take place, and so we can bring in those corporate sponsorships. But if there are those out there, anybody out there that would like to get on board early and to be able to help us out, let's go talk. Let's go sit down. Invite me to your office. I'll be happy to travel and see you guys face to face if you wish. And Then there'll be crowdfunding initiatives, engaging the community through a funding, like GoFundMe kind of thing. A whole campaign there. We're hoping to raise several $1 million through that endeavor and be able to offer financing both here and also into the World's Fair buildup as well. Government grants, approaching government, like here in America, approaching Congress to be able to secure funds from local, state, and federal agencies dedicated to support smart city development and green infrastructure initiatives. And then finally, individual donations, being able to invite people from anywhere and everywhere in every sector to come in and help, both in volunteering help, paid help, and also in being able to donate money, donate lindens, donate what you can to help build this vision and make it happen. So here's some contact information that I've brought up. We don't have a lot of infrastructure yet as far as the teams are concerned. And that's what I'm looking for, is to recruit, and be able to bring on team leaders that can then be, I will do the oversight of it, and then bring in those team leaders to flesh those out and to be able to make them happen. So I'm the primary contact for now, project manager, visionary, planner, and builder. But then I need team leads for planning, design teams, building teams, education training teams, marketing teams, finance teams, and homeless teams from the homeless sector, and be able to train them. Web designers, builders, I have created a contact me form you can fill out and fill in the blanks. And I have a URL here, and it will be supplied. In fact, I've been asked to bear with me a second, and I'll actually put that in the local chat as well, and be able to share that. So at the end here, I will put it up for you, but kind of watch for it in the local as we have our happy hour, and I'll make sure it gets posted up there. And then finally, simulation, being able to provide this simulation chat with our AI assistant over on the island. I have an island, I have a little bit of that infrastructure built, and you can kind of see where this vision is going. There are several domes there. The two I would that have had the most development are the area of planning and designing dome, but we also have a farming dome, and its ideas are there as well. So If you want to stick around, we'll have a happy hour here and then be able to move on. So, any questions?
Hey, John, this is Rand. Do you have backers now? And who, if so, who and how many?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Keeper? Yeah, okay. Not, no, I am approaching several people, but I don't have anybody in my pocket yet. Okay. I'm looking for backers. I'm looking for sponsorship. Like I said, and I think this is an exciting idea, but I'm going to need some help. I've been doing most of the financing myself, which, it hasn't been bad. Don't, it's not bad. I enjoy doing this, but I am going to need backers and support from outside my own finance.
Okay,
If
great.
you have an
I have
idea for that, please share that with me. Okay. Yeah.
I will. I will contact you after.
And who is this?
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
My name's Rand Heinrichs.
Oh, Rand. Yes. Hi, Rand. I saw you come in earlier. Please type that into the to the local chat as well, would you?
Sure.
Just a quick comment on that, because I'll look over this whole dialogue afterward.
Keeper, there is another question on the text, so I'm gonna read that for you.
Okay.
A question from Delhi. It's, have you settled on a scale for EEC, the number of sims?
No, I have not. That is still to be worked out as far as the World's Fair is concerned. I'm limiting the smart electric city to one, maybe two regions. That's I want to keep it small, but compact, and to be able to show the world. It's just a showpiece. So we develop it so that it is a small part of a greater whole, and that we do in Second Life, and it becomes a development. If I could say this word right, it becomes a developmental laboratory in which we get these problems solved much quicker, because we can collaborate, we can build on pennies on the dollar compared to what we would have to do if we were in real, in the real world, and to be able to actually interact with it in a very realistic way. I'm amazed how well this works, and I applaud the Linden Labs people for creating an environment in which we can now talk about doing a complete project, at least the planning and collaboration and communication part, right up front here in Second Life, and then carrying it forward into integrating it into real life itself, and taking it into our communities and into our community and that kind of thing. So, any other questions?
Yeah, there are other questions from the text, so I'm gonna read one by one if I could, okay? A question from Val. Have you shared your work outside of SL in the physical world or in the open sim grid?
No, not yet. That I'm aware of the open sim grid. I used to have a server in the open sim grid. I'm an IT guy, and had run one of my servers was in the early days of OpenSim, and so I know about it, but I haven't had time to get in and actually analyze it. But I love it. I think OpenSim is another opportunity to do what I'm suggesting here.
Okay, continuing with the following questions. There is one from Sheila. Thank you for the presentation. I'm sure you have thought of this, but I just wanted to raise the issue of accessibility. I have found this project and its resources interesting, Smart Cities for All, and she provided a link for that as well.
I see that, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's an excellent question. Yes, in fact, I've been in conversations with Haran, who is kind of an accessibility promoter here at the VWEC, and she talked me into putting. You'll see it at my sim. You'll see some wheelchairs around the planning and training area, just for that reason. But I mean, it's a showpiece, but at the same time, it's very real. And I'd like to take that and make that part of what we do is how do we make things more accessible to everybody, not just those who have their operating four limbs, and to be able to do that successfully. Yeah. Excellent question.
Okay. Another question that's from the YouTube stream. Can you tell us more about the boats that you mentioned?
Well, Chip, the farming
Yeah.
ship, I believe. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I did kind of present the idea up on the screen there. You saw kind of what one might look like, but I need a team actually to do that. To do the ships of hope, I'm calling them. Okay, but if people want to work on that as a project, that goes beyond the Emerald Electric City. Okay, but I think I want to build a port for that ship to sit in there on my island and to be able to showpiece the ship itself, at least one, and be able to design it out as part of the city itself. And so we're over at Etopia. We're big on waterways and water and sailboats and stuff like that. It's always been a part of our culture there, and sustainability is to be able to utilize our water systems. And so the idea of a farming ship, a ship full of food and drinkable water, is an exciting venture that we think is very that people can get their hearts and their minds and their heads around, is to be able to feed the hungry through these floating farm ships. And yeah, it'll be multi-floored, it'll be solar powered, and by that I mean I don't want to see any diesel on the boat at all, on the ship at all. It would be powered by electric engines with batteries and solar power. That would be the ideal situation.
Okay. The next one is from Ren, but it's not a question, I guess. It's kind of more like an information for you to consider. It's on the chat, so you might reach through that information.
Yes, the World's Fair in OpenSim. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then Liz asked a question. Do you know about the big World's Fair project in OpenSim? And Bruce Swizzle is in charge there and is part of the VWEC advisory committee as well. So that's also
Lucina has told me about it. I have not had time to go look at it, but I think it's an excellent resource, an excellent collaboration there, talking things out and seeing where it goes. So I need a meeting with the OpenSim coordinators there for that open market. Yes.
Okay. And Julie is next. Hi there. Do you already have a base structure plan for the regions you want to build in, as well as specific design styles you're aiming for?
I have designed a couple of domes that people can look at. Okay, they're really needing help on. Okay, I need to have an urban planner come in, architect come in, and look this over and be able to help in the design phase. I need urban planners. So all of these are very real things that need to happen. They haven't happened. So it's basically come for me and all of my research that I've done in being able to lay this down. I am very proud to say, I do have an electrical infrastructure system set up at my island that I'm very proud of. And Carmen has helped me build that. She's big into renewable energy. And so we have wind turbines and we have PVs, solar panels all over the island, but also we show it in a grid fashion and being able to see that grid as it's generated here in Second Life. Second Life has real sunshine and it has real wind. I mean, obviously an algorithm, okay, but we use it. Well, the wind was used originally for sailboating, okay, running yacht races, stuff like that. We've used that same wind and turning it into electricity, and we monitor it, and we now grid it, and now we store it, and we have an energy storage system there as well. Our next phase is to build IoT, Internet of Things, things that use electricity in our community, in the city, and some of those things are already in the work. We have a monorail system, a very nice design. We have motor scooters. I would like to continue to build EVs, or electric vehicles, and be able to automate those through an AI-assisted program within the city of moving around, asking for it. In other words, design it and show it all. Okay, been talking for years. Self-sustaining vehicles. We can do it in Second Life and be able to program it. I need help with that, but yeah, we can do it.
Okay. There are many others who I guess like the idea of those boats and enthusiasts about the water. Delia, Leslie, Namara are talking about that on the chat. So they also have some suggestions for you. Maybe like Etopia has land that has sustainability farm. So you might want to look at that. Probably that's what they refer to. And then Wolfie, I'm gonna shorten your avatar's name because it's hard for me to. Rhea Autumn Wolfie. Is this project going to promote walkability and or public transport?
Yes, and yes, and yes. Yeah. All of that needs to be considered in the planning of the actual transportation corridors within the dome and within the community itself. Absolutely. That hasn't been strong on our development at this point. We focused on the electrical infrastructure first. We do need to work on the water and trash, the waste distribution and reusability, and be able to build that as well. But we also need to create that walkability. I understand fully what that means, and I appreciate it. And I'm hoping that we can stop sending people on long commutes for wasting, hours of their personal time every day. Just online work project, or being able to walk or bike, collect EVs. We do need a little movement. We do need to get out from behind our computers and move around. So we maybe bicycles, you pedal, that kind of thing, be able to get around, but within a short period of time, be able to 15 minutes or so, and be able to get to work and then back again home. And then, of course, open spaces to do jogging, open spaces to have concerts and entertainment, be able to have recreation, cafes, restaurants, all important inside these cities as well.
Okay, Ellie is pointing out Liz Larson's previous message, which could be useful for you, I guess they think. I have scripted solar-powered electric boats here in SL already, so you might want to contact together Liz and...
Is that Leslie that has those?
Yeah,
Lisa?
that okay. One.
I see it. Yeah.
The message is on.
I'm going to grab
that could be useful for you, and then
I'm going to grab a copy of this whole list. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here a little bit and ask you a critical question. And what I see in your slides and probably the builds that you have in your island, I haven't had a chance to see that yet, but those look so futuristic to me. And the thing is, build big size ships like that, boats like that, and the domes like this, you're gonna create a lot of waste out of those things. And how are you gonna handle that?
Of this stuff, do you have a lot of waste?
Do you you have kind of like ingenious ways of dealing with those kind of, you know, the disadvantages of building this kind of stuff? How do you cope with that? You know, do you have any plans for that, or I don't know if you already have thought about it? Probably you did.
I have thought about it much. Okay, I know there are books on it out there, and there's some well-written books on it as well. I've done some research on it. I understand the concept of it, being able to manufacture without waste. You know what I'm saying? Everything's reusable then, and everything is able to be recycled back into doing something else with it instead of throwing it into the dump that we do now and covering it over with earth and having them stand for decades upon decades of useless land and useless with the possibility that it all leaches right into our water systems and we don't know what to do with it. So that needs to all be part of the planning of manufacturing. I totally agree with you on that. And to be able to work out that whole chain of what did they call that? A chain of manufacturing, the chain or the lifespan, the lifespan of any product we build or that we have to offer within the electric cities, to take a real serious look at its reusability then, or being able to put it in a way that we can repurpose it without even taking it, without having to take it to the dump, being able to repurpose it right there in the city and to be able to do that before it even leaves. It doesn't need to leave our city. Does that make sense? That's really important that we do that. Be able to do that in a way that's effective and cuts down on pollution and on waste. We have way too much waste, especially here in America. I don't know about what you guys are experiencing in other parts of the world, but here in America, we must work at curbing and reducing our waste back into our land.
Okay, thank you. And Val has a comment, good question. I wonder if AI can help solve some physical waste problems.
Oh, most definitely. I've used AI. I've started to use AI for the last 4 or 5 months, pretty extensive, and I'm amazed at some of the ideas and solutions that come up as I prompt and ask AI questions and stuff. And I have my pets. I have my preferences on what I use, but I'm using more and more a couple of AI programs that I think have been very helpful in doing both like slides here, but also writing books, being able to do re, enhance the images. But I can see that being used also in like the workflow within the city, being able to have it design new things that that it's so quick. AI can quickly find so many different things and then be able to merge them and to be able to create the idea behind them so that it can now be used as a different way, but much more efficient and much more readily. And manufacturing would be definitely one of those that needs to be done.
Okay, and then Delia is giving us some terms: life cycle, value chain, and circular economy. I guess those are the ways to deal with the waste and the other problems that could occur while building these kind of structures. And Val also continues: do you think the amount of energy needed for AI, which we hear is tremendous, could be aligned to this? Yeah, I know that like Google has a project of building a lot of nuclear plants just to cope with that, that the energy production which is going to be needed for the quantum computers and the AI and these kind of technologies in the future. So that is a big issue in this sense as
Yes,
well.
but why are we afraid of using energy? It's because the only concept we've really had so far is that the way to create energy is through pollution, through being able to burn fossil fuels, to be able or irradiate ourselves with nuclear particles. Okay, that is not what's happening in the future. In the nuclear, watch the word fusion developing within the nuclear realm. That is a workable solution, fusion. I'm fully aware of how that works. And I'm supporting the fusion nuclear. I am not supporting the fission nuclear because the fission nuclear is radioactive. As the fusion, it doesn't have a byproduct. It doesn't have a bad byproduct. It has an ability to create energy from hydrogen. And that's what I mentioned, hydrogen. Definitely, hydrogen is going to be in our future, and it's so clean that it can be a fuel right now for all kinds of aspects, including heating and being able to generate electricity. And where does that come from? Where does hydrogen come from? Well, it could be extracted from fossil fuels, but that's not where the best hydrogen is at. The best hydrogen comes right out of water itself, out of our tremendous oceans and seas, and these places have so much energy that we have no idea. It's unimaginable how much energy is sitting in our oceans right now, and it can be converted. It can be changed. It's going to need some energy to do that. I know. Energy to make energy, but it comes from solar then. It originates from solar and then being able to convert hydrogen so it's more containable, more storage, and this kind of thing. So I actually created a energy storage device and have a patent on it now that I believe will work, and it's all based on water. And so hydrogen is made from water. It gets used up. When it gets used up, it turns back into water and then gets recycled again. In fact, it's a way to clean drinking water is through hydrogen or through the process of solar dialysis, being able to extract the hydrogen from water itself.
So you're suggesting that using the solar power to extract hydrogen from the water and use it as the energy source, right?
That's right. And people are saying, "Oh, it takes too much." The solar panels make so much waste and so much bad things. Well, not necessarily if it's done right. Okay. And one area that I advocate and is my buddy Scott's idea and invention. He has patents on it, had them for 8 years now, and continually developing it. And on my island, I showcase what I mean by solar. I don't mean just solar on the rooftops. I mean solar on our roadways, covering every dirty roadway, asphalt, and all of that with a solar panel, and being able to use that, the energy that falls on our roadways would be able to power the entire world and 5 times over. We would have an abundance of energy then as we cover our roadways with solar roadways. And my buddy's got an ability to do that now. He's got patents on panels that you can drive over with cars and vehicles and be able to add all kinds of striping and warming. So there's no more ice and snow, no more salting and all of that, or chaining up and all of that. Great ideas. And he's got it perfected, he's got it ready to go, and he's offering it now to transportation departments all over the world. So, but you could come and take a look at my model of it inside my island. Anybody else got any questions?
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. They're waiting on my URL. Wait a minute. I need to go find that real quick, and then I'll broadcast that here in the local so that people can go on with their lives if they need to. Let me.
I put it in Keeper.
Oh, you found it?
I put it in as
Yeah.
Keeper's form. Yeah.
Ellie shared that in the chat, so anyone can
I
click.
did give you a copy of it. Let me see if it works, okay? I want to make sure it goes to the right spot.
Okay.
It works. I tried it. Yeah.
It does. It works great. It looks really good. Thank you. Who was that did that? Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see the name. Who spoke up?
Ellie.
Oh, Ellie. Ellie put that in. Excellent, Ellie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So there are a couple of more comments here, but then we're also running out of time here. So I'm just gonna read fast a couple of other comments, and I'm gonna wrap it up if that's all from the audience. The Delia also mentions that the problem with the energy in AI is already there, but it's already coming down, and lots of innovation happening in that area. So things are, getting better in that area, according to Delia. And Ren is finding that so incredible, your ambition, and he loves what you do, and sending you a message through email. And well, I never hear of solar roadways, but ChatGPT says some test sections have been built. So she's using AI. She's cheating. So like friends in China.
If I could speak to that, my buddy Scott and I put those solar roadways. We built them over the last 8-10 years or so, and the design and worked on it. He's an electrical engineer by trade, and he did an excellent job of being able to solve a lot of problems. But there were those who wanted to get out first before he got finished thoroughly testing and thoroughly evaluating what he had. And so France and China rushed ahead and built the same, what they called their version of solar roadways, which was I'm sorry, but they were a pile of crap, okay? They did not work. They were not sustainable. They rusted, they fell apart. When you ran cars and trucks over them, they started separating and buckling and everything else. So that is not what I'm talking about, okay? The roadways we've got here in America, okay, are solid and they are well thought out, and they do not have these problems that France and China on their initial production of a solar roadway had before. And so we are working very hard. He is working very hard at getting these panels in on some airport driveways and access points, stuff like that at the airport, but also on a test roadway. Contract already.
Okay. Thank you so much, Keeper, for sharing with us today. And sustainability is one of the most important topics and a matter of survival for us, in contributing to a sustainable way of living and being a change agent in the virtual world is a very innovative and effective way, in my opinion, to cope with these issues, like the climate change and the global warming and so on. So we could carry the conversation to the deck area after this session. So whoever is hanging around, you can still chat with Keeper. He's gonna be I think with us a little bit longer there. And thank you very much for everyone participating. And I just want to remind you about the next expert series talk, which is The Trouble with Tech by John O'Connor. It's gonna be Friday, February 14th, 1 p.m. SLT time again. So we are also waiting your participation in that talk. It's gonna be interesting topic for sure from my colleague and friend John O'Connor. So thank you so much again. We got that recorded, this session. So it will be, I think, on our webpage, the VWEC Consortium. And I'm gonna just paste this links here again to the chat. So if anyone interested, the links and the Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, everything else is gonna be there.
Thanks again, everybody. I'll be around if somebody wants to join this happy hour. Answer one-on-one questions or anything that you have to talk about in